The military powers. Now, in the military powers, we're going to study what all power does the president have. The president is the supreme commander of the armed forces of India. In this capacity, he appoints the chiefs of the staff of the army, the navy, and the air force, and other defense services. As the supreme commander of the armed forces, he also has the power to declare war or to conclude peace with any country. It is not the prime minister that has the power to decide whether our country should be at war or should call it peace. It is the president. He has this power. Where the military forces are concerned, whether it's the navy, the army, or the air force, it is all under the control of the president of India. The sixth executive power of the president, the diplomatic power. As the executive head of the union, he sends ambassadors, high commissioners, and other diplomats envoys to foreign countries and receives those from the foreign countries along with the letters of credence. He also asks foreign diplomats to leave India by declaring them persona non grata, that is, person not accepted or person not acceptable. Now, what happens is diplomatic powers. That means a country needs to converse with other countries. They need to decide. They need to talk over certain important issues. They need to solve certain problems. Sometimes India goes to other countries. A person is representing India. That is called an ambassador of India. They go to other countries and they discuss. They represent India. Sometimes people from other countries come to India. So what happens is when people come from different countries or we go to different countries, certain points are discussed, certain issues are discussed, and if there is a certain country who has a certain way of ruling or a certain mindset, a certain ideology which we as Indians may not approve of, then what do? We do not find that acceptable and we don't want to have any conversation with them in the future. Like, for instance, right now, India's condition with China. India doesn't want to have a connection with China or Pakistan because of their certain ideologies, of the practices that they have. China does some things that India is not comfortable with. They try to talk it out, they try to make peace, but it didn't work out. So that's when India decided that they'll cut connection with China, boycott the same thing they did with Pakistan. Countries need to work together. Only then can they progress. If they're going to fight against each other, if they're not going to rectify or solve their problems, what's going to happen is they're not going to have anything to do with each other and they'll completely disconnect from each other. They'll break all ties or any kind of association. So we just studied 6 executive powers of the president. Now we're going to study the legislative powers of the president. The president is an integral part of the parliament. He possesses the following legislative powers. Number 1, to summon and prorogue the parliament. Number 2, to dissolve the Lok Sabha. Number 3, nomination of MPs. Number 4, prior sanction before introducing certain bills. Number 5, assent to legislation. Number 6, to issue ordinances. Now, I'm going to read them and I'm going to explain them because they require you to understand what it means as I explain them point by point. The first power that the president has under legislative powers, that means when they are law made, legislative powers are what? Laws are being made. So, what role does the president have when the laws are being made? He summons both the houses of the parliament to session. He directs a joint session of both houses to be held. He can also prorogue the parliament. Now, what happens is, before law is made, before a ruling is done, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha are called. They're discussed. The point, whatever point they have, is discussed, and then it is taken to the next level. That is whether it should be included as a bill, it should be considered as something that we need to discuss about, or whether a meeting should be held or not. Because see, whenever there is a point of concern, whether it's raised by the Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, it has to be discussed and a lot of time needs to be spent when discussions take place. So the president first needs to see whether it is a matter of importance that he needs to call both parties and they need to discuss. Supposing there are issues that are pointless, they don't need any discussion. So he doesn't call for for anybody to meet. He finds that that's absolutely pointless. It's a waste of time. It's not a topic of discussion. So a meeting should not be held. Number two, to dissolve the Lok Sabha. Sometimes the Lok Sabha needs to be dissolved. And how is that done? The president has the power to dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of the Prime Minister before the expiry of its full term. The Lok Sabha is the people who are elected, or rather the ministers who are elected by the people directly. And after they reach their tenure, when their term is completed, it is the president that dissolves their power, that ends their power, with obviously the prime minister being with him. It's not a single-handed discussion or a single-handed decision that's made. The president and the prime minister sit together and they decide, or rather, they dissolve the Lok Sabha together. Nomination of MPs. The president nominates 12 MPs to the Rajya Sabha from amongst outstanding contributors to literate science, social service, or art. He may also nominate two MPs of the Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha if the community is not adequately represented. The president nominates MPs when there is a ruling taking place, where there is a discussion of laws to be made. Everybody from different sections of society have to be represented. So if there is a certain section of literature, science, social service, or a community, that's the Anglo-Indian community, which needs to be represented, it is the president who nominates them. Number four, prior sanction before introducing certain bills. That means before a bill is made into a law, bill is a topic, it is discussed about the pros and cons, and then it is decided if that is made a law. So before it reaches the point of becoming a bill, it is the president who sanctions that the bill should be introduced. He gives them the permission that yes, this bill is something that we need to talk about. Only after we talk and discuss about it, then can we decide that it should be made into a law or not. The president grants sanction for the introduction of certain bills, such as a money bill, a bill for the creation of new state, or a state for alternation in the territories of state. That means every state has a different functioning. Now, certain rules or certain laws need to be followed in certain states if the country or the discipline of that place is different. You see, some laws may apply in a state, that is UP, some laws may not apply. So, whether that law applies or not in that state or in that union territory, it is the president who first decides whether we need to discuss about it, if whether the bill needs to be sanctioned. Once the bill is sanctioned, then it becomes a law after discussion. Assent to legislature. The president's assent on a bill is necessary to become a law. That means it is very important that the president decides or accepts or he agrees to a certain bill. Then only can it become a law. If the president disagrees to whatever the bill is, then it will not become a law. He may refuse to give his assent or send it back for reconsideration. If it is not a money bill, if this bill is again passed by the parliament without or with amendments, the president must give his assent to it. Sometimes what happens, there are certain issues that need to be discussed and laws need to be made. So they can be, if they are refused the first time, they send again that, please understand this, reconsider it. But this can only happen if the president accepts them. If he, gives us permission that, okay, this is fine, only then can this become a bill which can turn into a law. The sixth legislative power of the president is to issue ordinance. What is an ordinance? An order issued by the president when the parliament isn't in session. Sometimes, when there isn't any session going on, it is the president that decides whether an ordinance should be held or not. The president can promulgate an ordinance under two conditions, that is, when the parliament is not in session, when the president is satisfied that immediate necessary legislative action is required. However, the ordinance has to be placed before the Parliament within 6 weeks from its reassembly.